something I've been struggling, since I programmed the event, something I've been struggling with is discerning people that talk a good game about diversity, inclusion, belonging, equity, and equality, and those that actually do it. And I'm not sure if I know you have a radar, and I know you do a lot of consulting, so you've got a much better radar than I do. But I have difficulty. I have difficulty when I talk to a leader and they say they want to do something. We want to hire more veterans. It's a great example. We want to hire more LGBTQ plus community, etc. How do you discern? And again, this is a complete non sequitur, but not. How do you discern whether or not they're really telling you the truth or whether or not they're just telling you what you want to hear?
Yeah, I think, William, when I got first committed myself to doing D&I consulting back in 13 and 14, really like 13, one of the things that I would say is when I get into the engagement, first person that I want to talk to is someone in the C-suite. And Andrew, I want to see their meeting schedule and their travel schedule. And people would always say to me, well, why do you need to see their meeting schedule? Or why do you need to see their travel schedule? I said, because both of them tell me what's important to them.
That's genius.
You can go and you can try to dig through the data and the charts. I just need two things: where you're going and who are you meeting with. So if you're meeting with, provosts and presidents and directors of career centers and community organizations and large mega churches and, consultants like myself, if we are on that docket, that calendar, and when I say these academic institutions, then it means it's important to them to have that relationship between their organization and that academic institution, that community group, that church, that whomever. So if you're not meeting with those types of people, then I got to question, or I at least have the option of questioning, is diversity important? Is inclusion important? If I look at your travel schedule and all you are doing are going to high priced dinners, golfing outings with your friends, conferences that are, attended by mostly other peers, if you will, but you're not going to fundraisers for underserved, underrepresented organizations and audiences and communities, or you're not going to places like HBCU campuses or Hispanic serving institutions. You're not speaking at events where you may not be able to get a fee, but you are talking to a class of young people that may eventually, if you're not going to those places, then I get another opportunity to question whether or not D&I is important to you and to the organization. And so, William, today, although I may not ask those two questions, I'm still asking for, has your leadership made a declarative statement? Has your leadership reallocated resources? Has your leadership determined that they are going to hold people accountable? So if all you have is an announcement on your website, or you've put out a press release, that's all you've done, then I still get the chance to question whether or not D&I is important to the organization. We are in the time right now. Last week, we paid attention to the 1 year anniversary, if you will, of George Floyd's murder. Some of the statistics I've seen have varied, but one that stuck with me was $50 billion in commitments were made by organizations. And I think the number of how much of that has actually been spent was 0.5%.
Right. Wow. And real quick follow-up, Andrew. The declarative statement, the resources, which by resources you mean time, money, and energy, accountability. I'm assuming transparency is somewhere in that mix, but you didn't call it out specifically. Is that what you mean by accountability?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, if you say it's important, then you need to show me it should be modeled that
Right.
it's important.
Okay.
It may be attached to the compensation. It may be something we discuss in our, quarterly meetings and our, yeah, absolutely. So transparency, tacit understanding, and certainly, even though I ran through those three really quickly, there's probably a list of 20 other things that I could have said,
100%.
but you get the point. Yeah, you get the point. The reason I do it that way is I need to synthesize why this work is important. Because the moment I make it muddied, complicated, arduous, then folks start running for the exit. Oh, we ain't doing that. It's too hard. That's what they've been saying. You make it hard and challenging, it gives them the excuse to cut the tether, to say, well, you know what, we tried, we good. No, I want to make it really easy. This is how you measure whether you're doing it or not.